So, they wanted chaos, did they? Those little puppets, pulling their strings, thinking they've got you dancing to their tune. Oh, how predictable. You see, that's the thing about people like them. They can't handle the stillness. They crave the noise, the destruction, the chaos. But what they can't stand, what they'll never understand, is composure. Your calm, your stillness, it's like poison to their plans. They wanted you to lose your mind, to break down, to scream and claw at the walls like some caged animal. That's their game. That's their weapon. But you didn't give it to them, did you? No. You sat there, silent, calm, controlled. And you know what that did to them? It destroyed them. Not with a bang, not with fire, but with silence. That, my dear friend, is real power. Let me explain something to you. People like them, they're cowards. They're predators who feed off chaos. They thrive when you're weak, when you're vulnerable, when you're flailing around in the dark, trying to find some way to stop the bleeding. They want to see you panic, because panic is predictable. It's easy to manipulate. But you didn't give them that satisfaction, did you? You stayed composed. You stayed cold. And that scared the hell out of them. You see, control is a funny thing. Everyone wants it, but no one knows what to do with it when they have it. And that's what makes you different. You didn't let them take it. You held on to it like your life depended on it. And in a way, it did. That composure, that's your weapon. That's your armor. And oh, how it must burn them to see you standing there, unbroken, untouched. Let me ask you something. Do you know why they hate you so much? Why they keep coming at you again and again, trying to tear you down? It's not because you're weak. No, it's because you're strong. It's because every time they push, you push back harder. Every time they try to break you, you show them just how unbreakable you are. And that terrifies them. Because deep down, they know they can't win. Not against someone like you. Oh, they'll pretend. They'll put on their little masks and play their little games. But you and I both know the truth. They're scared. Scared of what you'll become if they can't stop you. Scared of the power you'll wield if you keep rising, keep pushing, keep fighting. And let me tell you something. They should be scared. Because people like you, you're a nightmare for people like them. You're everything they fear, everything they'll never be. They wanted chaos. They wanted you to break, to fall apart, to lose yourself in the storm. But you didn't. You stayed calm. You stayed composed. And in doing so, you destroyed everything they were counting on. That, my friend, is power. Real power. The kind of power they'll never understand. But here's the thing. This isn't over. It never is. People like them. They don't give up. They'll keep coming. Keep trying to tear you down. And that's fine. Let them come. Let them try. Because every time they do, you'll show them the same thing. You can't be broken. Not by them. Not by anyone. Do you know what that does to people like them? It eats them alive. It makes them question everything they thought they knew. It makes them realize just how small and powerless they really are. And you're the one holding the mirror. You're the one showing them the truth. But don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent. Because the moment you do, they'll strike. They're waiting for that moment, for you to let your guard down, to slip, to show weakness. Don't give it to them. Stay sharp, stay cold, stay composed, because as long as you do, they can't touch you. And here's the best part. They know it. They know they've already lost. They just can't admit it yet. So let them play their little games. Let them scheme and plot and plan. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you've already won. You won the moment you refused to break. The moment you refused to give them what they wanted. So the next time they come for you, the next time they try to drag you down, remember this. Your composure is your weapon. Your calm is their chaos. Use it, wield it, and watch as their world falls apart, piece by piece, while you stand there unshaken, untouched, unstoppable. They wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And that, my dear friend, is the ultimate victory. Oh, but don't think for a second that this was luck. No, no, no. This wasn't some happy accident where you stumbled into control. You earned this. Every moment you held your tongue, every time you swallowed your rage, every time you sat there and refused to let them see you sweat. That was you building yourself, forging yourself. You think they didn't notice? Oh, they noticed. Every second you didn't break, every time you stared them down with that unflinching gaze, they felt it. That power of yours, raw, unshakable. You turned their chaos into your discipline. And you know what discipline does? It kills chaos. Slowly, painfully, with precision. You're a reminder of everything they failed to be. While they let themselves spiral, you held on. While they played their petty games, you played the long game. That burns them. It eats them alive because they know they can't beat you. Not the you that exists now. Not the you who's learned how to stay silent when they scream for a reaction. Not the you who's learned to smile when all they want is your anger. But here's where it gets tricky. Composure? It's a double-edged sword. It keeps you strong, but it can also isolate you. People don't understand it. They mistake your calm for coldness, your silence for indifference. Let them. It's better that way. People like them don't deserve to know what's underneath. They don't deserve your vulnerability, your kindness, your truth. Keep that locked away. Save it for those who've earned it. Because most people, they'll just use it against you. Oh, and don't forget, they'll come at you from new angles now. They've realized they can't shake you with their usual tricks, so they'll get clever. They'll try to use your past against you, your mistakes, your fears. They'll dig up every skeleton they can find and parade it in front of you, hoping, praying that one of them will be enough to break you. But here's the secret. Your past doesn't define you. It never has. It's just a story you've already rewritten. They'll try to drag you back there, to that person you used to be, but you're not going back. Not now. Not ever. Let them shout. Let them accuse. Let them try. You're not that person anymore, and you never will be again. They'll hate that too, by the way. Oh, they'll hate it more than anything. Because people like them, they need you to be stuck in your past. They need you to be haunted by it, defined by it. That's how they control you. But when you show them that you've moved on, that their words don't sting, that their accusations don't hold any power over you anymore, that's when they crumble. They wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. Do you see it now? Do you understand what you've done? You didn't just survive them, you dismantled them, piece by piece, without ever lifting a finger. That's the beauty of it. That's the brilliance. They came at you with everything they had, and you stood there calm, collected, untouchable. You see, they thought they were playing chess, but you weren't even on the board. While they were busy plotting their moves, you were out there living your life, building yourself, growing stronger. That's the part they'll never understand. You didn't need to fight them. You just needed to outlast them. And you did. Oh, you did? But let me ask you something. What now? You've won this battle, sure. You've proven yourself, shown them who you really are. But what happens next time? Because there will be a next time. There always is. People like them? They're like weeds. You cut one down and another pops up in its place. So how do you prepare for that? How do you make sure they never touch you again? I'll tell you how. You keep going. You keep building. You keep sharpening yourself into something they can't even comprehend, let alone defeat. You become a force of nature, something so powerful, so unshakable, that they don't just fear you, they respect you. And that's the ultimate revenge. But here's the thing about respect. It's not given. It's taken. You have to demand it, command it, with every move you make, every word you speak, every action you take. And you've already started. Every time you refuse to break, every time you chose silence over chaos, you were taking your first steps toward that respect. So now it's time to take the next step. It's time to show them that this wasn't a fluke, that this composure of yours isn't temporary. It's who you are. It's time to show them that no matter how many times they come for you, no matter how many games they play, you'll always be one step ahead, always calm, always composed, always in control. And that control, it's going to drive them mad. It's going to make them question everything they thought they knew, because they wanted chaos, but you gave them composure. They wanted to break you, but you broke their plans. They wanted to see you fall, but instead they watched you rise. So rise higher, stand taller, be everything they said you couldn't be, because at the end of the day, their opinions don't matter. Their words don't matter. The only thing that matters is you, your strength, your composure, your power. And as long as you hold on to that, as long as you refuse to let them see you break, you've already won. They wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And that, my friend, is the kind of victory that lasts forever. Oh, don't think it ends here. No, this isn't a victory lap. This is the start of something bigger. Because people like you, the ones who stay composed when the world is crumbling, who hold their ground when the ground beneath them is shaking. Oh, you're dangerous. You're the kind of person who doesn't just survive the chaos. You thrive in it. You don't just outlast the storm, you become the storm. And that terrifies them. Because chaos, my friend, is predictable. It's messy, it's loud, it's destructive, but it has no discipline. No direction. It's wild, untamed, and ultimately weak. But composure? Now that's something else entirely. Composure is dangerous. It's controlled chaos. It's the ability to stand in the middle of the fire and not flinch, to face the chaos head on and say, "Is that all you've got?" Do you know what happens when you master composure? You stop being the victim, the target, the prey. You become the predator, not the kind that roars and bares its teeth, but the kind that moves silently, calculating, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when you do, oh, it's over. One move, one action, and everything falls apart for them. That's the power you're building. That's the person you're becoming. But don't think for a second that it's easy. No, composure isn't something you're born with. It's forged, built through pain, through struggle, through every single moment you wanted to break, but didn't. It's the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, fighting your demons in silence. It's the mornings you got up, even when the weight of the world was crushing you. It's the battles you fought in your mind, the ones no one else saw but you. That's where composure is born. In the dark, in the quiet, in the moments no one talks about. And those people, the ones who wanted chaos, they'll never understand that. They think strength is loud. That power is about who can shout the loudest, hit the hardest, cause the most destruction. But you and I both know the truth. Real strength, real power. It's quiet. It's calm. It's the ability to sit in the middle of the chaos and remain unmoved. They'll never understand the discipline it takes to stay silent when every part of you wants to scream. The restraint it takes to hold your composure when they're throwing everything they have at you. That's why they'll never win. Because they don't have what you have. They don't have the patience, the discipline, the strength to endure. But you do. And that makes you unstoppable. But let me tell you something, they're going to try again. Oh, they're not done with you yet. People like them, they don't quit, they'll come back, and they'll come back harder. They'll try to find new ways to break you, to shake you, to pull you back into their chaos. And when they do, you'll face a choice. Do you let them drag you down, or do you rise above it again? I think we both know the answer to that. You're not the kind of person who gets dragged down. Not anymore. You've been through too much, fought too hard to let them win now. But it's not enough to just survive. No, you need to thrive, to grow, to take everything they throw at you and use it to build yourself even stronger. Because composure isn't just about standing still, it's about standing tall. It's about knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and refusing to let anyone take that away from you. It's about looking them in the eye and saying, "You don't control me. You never did." And you know what that does to them? It breaks them. Not in the way they tried to break you, with noise and chaos and destruction. No, it's quieter than that, subtler. It's the kind of breaking that happens when someone realizes they've already lost. When they see that no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they can't touch you. They can't move you. They can't control you. But don't get me wrong, this isn't about them. It's not about proving them wrong or making them pay. It's about you. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. The person who doesn't just survive the chaos, but who thrives in it. The person who doesn't just endure the storm, but who becomes the storm. Because here's the truth. The chaos isn't going away. The world isn't going to get easier. The storms aren't going to stop coming. But you're ready for them. You've built yourself for this. Every moment of pain, every struggle, every battle, you've taken it all and turned it into strength, into composure, into power. And now it's your time. Time to show the world what you're made of. Time to take everything they threw at you and use it to rise higher than they ever thought possible. Time to prove to yourself, not to them, but to yourself, that you're stronger than the chaos, stronger than the pain, stronger than anything they could ever throw at you. They wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And now it's your turn to show them what real power looks like. Not with noise, not with chaos, but with silence, with composure, with the quiet, unshakable strength of someone who's been through hell and come out the other side stronger. So stand tall, stand strong. And when they come for you again, and they will, you know what to do. Hold your ground, keep your composure, and watch as their chaos crumbles around them, leaving nothing but silence. Because that's what they fear most, isn't it? The silence, the stillness, the composure, the one thing they'll never have. And you've mastered it. You become it. And there's nothing more powerful than that. So go, live, fight, thrive. And remember this, they wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And that, my friend, is the greatest victory of all. Oh, you thought I was done? No, not even close, because this story, your story, it isn't finished. In fact, it's only just beginning. You see, the thing about people like you, the ones who've learned to master composure, is that you're always evolving, always growing, always becoming something bigger, something stronger. And that terrifies them more than anything. They thought they could control you, shape you, bend you to their will. But now they're realizing just how wrong they were. Because composure, it's not just a shield, it's a weapon. And in your hands, it's devastating. You didn't just survive their chaos, you used it. You took every ounce of pain, every moment of doubt, and you forged it into something they can't even comprehend. Let me tell you something most people don't understand. Chaos doesn't destroy strong people. It refines them. It strips away the weak parts, the soft parts, and leaves behind something sharp, something unbreakable. That's what you've become. They wanted to tear you apart, but all they did was strip away the unnecessary. Now you're sharper, harder, and more dangerous than ever. But here's where it gets interesting. Now that you've mastered composure, now that you've shown them just how unshakable you are, they're going to change their tactics. They're going to come at you in ways you haven't seen before. They'll play the long game now. They'll try to erode you bit by bit, piece by piece. They'll whisper doubts into your ear, plant seeds of fear, try to make you question yourself. And you know what you do when that happens? You laugh. Not the kind of laugh that comes from joy, but the kind that comes from power, from knowing they can't touch you. Because composure isn't just about staying calm in the face of chaos. It's about owning the chaos, about turning their fear into your fuel, their doubt into your drive. Oh, they'll try everything. They'll throw their best at you, their worst at you, hoping, just hoping, that this time it'll be enough to break you. But here's the secret. They've already lost. The moment you refused to play their game, the moment you chose composure over chaos, you won. And they know it. That's why they're so desperate. That's why they keep coming back. Because they can't stand the fact that you're untouchable. Do you know what untouchable looks like? It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's not about showing off or proving a point. It's quiet, subtle. It's the way you walk into a room and everyone feels it. The strength, the control, and the power. It's the way you look at them, calm and composed, while their chaos consumes them from the inside out. And that power, it's not just about you, it's about the people watching. Because trust me, they're watching. There are people out there, people you don't even know, who see you and think, if they can do it, maybe I can, too. Your composure, your strength. It's a beacon, a light in the darkness. And for every person who tries to tear you down, there are 10 more who are inspired by you. But don't let that go to your head, because this isn't about them either. This is about you. About becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive the chaos, but who thrives in it. The kind of person who doesn't just endure the storm, but who becomes the storm. You see, they wanted chaos because chaos is easy. It's simple. It's destruction without purpose. But you turned their chaos into something beautiful, something unstoppable. And now they don't know what to do. They're scrambling, panicking, trying to figure out how to deal with someone like you. But here's the thing. They can't. Because there's no playbook for composure. No strategy for dealing with someone who refuses to break. And that's why you're dangerous. Not because you're loud, not because you're violent, but because you're controlled. Because you've mastered the one thing they'll never understand: yourself. You know who you are, what you're capable of, and that knowledge, it's power. Real power. The kind of power that doesn't fade, doesn't waver, doesn't break. But don't get comfortable. Don't think for a second that the fight is over. Because the moment you let your guard down, the moment you get complacent, they'll strike. They're waiting for that moment, for you to slip, to falter, to show weakness. Don't give it to them. Stay sharp, stay focused, because as long as you do, they can't touch you. And when they come back, and they will come back, you'll be ready. You'll stand there, calm and composed, while their chaos swirls around you. And you'll remind them once again that you can't be broken, that no matter what they throw at you, no matter how hard they try, you'll always rise. Because they wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And now it's your turn. Your turn to rise, to thrive, to show the world what real strength looks like. Not the kind that comes from noise and destruction, but the kind that comes from control, from discipline, from composure. So stand tall, stand strong. And when they look at you, when they see what you've become, let them feel it. The fear, the doubt, The realization that they can't win because this isn't their story. It's yours. And in your story, chaos doesn't win. You do. Now go. Live your life. Fight your battles. Win your wars. And remember this. They wanted chaos, but your composure destroyed their plans. And that, my friend, is the kind of legacy that lasts forever. You think it's over, don't you? That this is the end of the story? Oh no, my dear friend. This isn't the conclusion. It's the setup for the next act. You've built yourself into something unshakable, unbreakable, and unyielding. But now you need to ask yourself a question. What are you going to do with it? You see, they never stop. The world, the people in it, the chaos. It's relentless. Every time you think you've dealt with one storm, another one brews on the horizon. And that's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be, because storms, they're not obstacles. They're opportunities. They're tests. Each one bigger, nastier, and more unforgiving than the last. And you've got to be ready for every single one of them. Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. Chaos isn't the enemy. It's the forge. The flames that harden you. The pressure that shapes you. The hammer that molds you into something extraordinary. Without it, there's no growth, no evolution. You wouldn't be who you are now if it weren't for the storms you've already faced. Think back to the beginning, to the person you were before all this, the one who stumbled, who doubted, who broke. They thought they'd win back then, didn't they? Thought they'd crush you under the weight of it all. But look at you now. You're still standing. Stronger, wiser, sharper, and it burns them. Oh, it burns them so much they can't even see straight, because every time they look at you, they're reminded of their failure, of your success. But here's the thing, you can't stop here. You can't let this be the peak. Because the second you stop growing, the second you stop pushing forward, they'll catch up. They'll find a crack in your armor, a weakness you didn't even know you had. That's why composure isn't a destination. It's a journey, a constant battle to stay ahead, to stay strong, to stay unbreakable. And it's not just for you, is it? No, you're not in this alone. There are people watching you, learning from you, leaning on you. Maybe it's someone you know, a friend, a sibling, a stranger in the crowd. Or maybe it's someone you'll never meet, someone who sees your strength and finds their own in it. Because that's the thing about composure, it's contagious. It spreads like wildfire. One person standing tall in the chaos can inspire 100 others to do the same. But don't think for a second that makes it easier. Oh no. Being the example, that's the hardest job of all. Because when people see you as strong, they expect you to stay that way. They don't see the cracks, the struggles, the battles you fight in silence. They just see the surface, the calm, the composure. and that's fine. Let them see it. Let them believe in it. Because as long as they believe, as long as they see that strength in you, they'll find it in themselves too. But you have to be ready for the cost. Because there's always a cost, isn't there? Strength, composure, power, they don't come cheap. They take pieces of you, little by little, bit by bit, until one day you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. And that's the real test, isn't it? To stay true to yourself, even as you evolve. To hold on to the parts of you that matter, even as you let go of the ones that don't. Because composure without purpose is just coldness. Strength without direction is just emptiness. And you're better than that. You're not just surviving, you're building, growing, becoming. And every step you take, every battle you win, every storm you weather, you're proving to yourself and to the world that you're more than they ever thought you could be. But don't get comfortable. Don't let the victory go to your head, because complacency, that's the real enemy. The moment you think you've got it all figured out, the moment you think you're untouchable, that's when they'll strike. Not with chaos, not with noise, but with whispers, doubts, fears, the kind that creep in when you're not looking, when you're tired, when you think the fight is over. And when that happens, and it will happen, you'll need to remember who you are, what you've been through, what you've built. Because you didn't come this far just to let them win now. You didn't fight this hard just to lose it all to a moment of weakness. No, you've got too much riding on this, too much to lose, too much to prove, not to them, but to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about, isn't it? It's not about them. It never was. It's about you, about becoming the person you've always known you could be. The one who doesn't just survive the chaos, but thrives in it. The one who doesn't just endure the storms, but learns from them, grows from them, becomes stronger because of them. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let this be the end of your story? Or are you going to keep going, keep pushing, keep building? Because let me tell you something. They're watching, they're waiting, hoping, praying that this is where you stop, that this is where you falter. Don't give them the satisfaction. Rise, higher than ever before. Become the person they said you'd never be. Prove them wrong, not with words, not with noise, but with action, with composure, with unshakable, undeniable strength. Because they wanted chaos. But your composure? It destroyed their plans. And now, it's your turn to build something they can't even dream of. Something they'll never understand. Something that will outlast them, outshine them, and leave them scrambling in the shadows. So go. Show them. Show yourself that you're more than they ever thought you could be, that you're stronger than they could ever imagine, And when they come for you again, and they will, you'll be ready, calm, composed, unstoppable. Because this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. And the chaos, it never stood a chance.